Morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to vitality and health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. If you have a health challenge, folks, if you're dealing with a chronic degenerative health issue of any kind, please understand you don't need to be suffering. The nature of the body is to reverse and to heal breakdown. It's a healing system. The human being could not have survived hundreds of thousands or millions of years. The human body in its shape today is a 2 million year old organism that has been highly refined, fine-tuned to heal and recover. If we're not healing and recovering, something's wrong. We're missing something. The wrong thing's getting into the system, and it has nothing to do with doctors or drugs or surgery or anything in the medical model. The medical model is not about reversing degenerative disease. It's never happened. It will never happen in response to surgeries and pharmaceutical medicine. This is not the way medicine works. It's a con job. If you are taking a prescription drug, or you are interacting with the medical model in hopes of reversing your arthritis or your autoimmunity or your Alzheimer's, which we'll talk about here today, or anything else, you are barking up the wrong tree. It is not going to happen. But it doesn't matter because we can do it ourselves. This is the good news. This is the bright side. The human body is a healing system. We simply have to access and leverage that healing chemistry. And this is where nutrition and nutritional supplementation come in. Is it the only thing we need to do? No. Healing is multidimensional. Health is multidimensional. Spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. In that order. Spiritual means connectedness. However you want to describe it or define it, it means connected. Unspiritual means unconnected. The word sin means unconnected, disconnected, separate. The sense of separation that underlies how we live our lives, whether it's separation from divinity, the divine force, from nature, separation from each other, this needs to be addressed. And by the way, from a quantum physics perspective, which is really the most fundamental science there is, the most fundamental physics there is, separation is how it is. There is no disconnection. Everything is connected. It's an illusion that we're separated. Medicine operates on what's called mechanical physics, on the theories of mechanical physics. That is an anachronistic understanding of how the world works. Mechanical physics is based on what we can see. However, it's what we can't see. The visible is always preceded by the invisible, and power comes from the preceding event. Power comes from the invisible, the quantum, which is where nutrition works, which is where we work, which is where consciousness works, which is where thinking works, which is where emotions and feelings work. The good news is that this is all in our control, and we can show you, we can help you understand how to leverage what's already in our systems, what's already in our healing and regenerating bodily systems. 844-236-6010 is our number, 844-236-6010. If you're dealing with a long-term chronic degenerative health issue, even if you're dealing with something minor like acne or eczema or rosacea, all of these things are reversible if we know what to do. Let us help you. Let us help you help yourselves or help loved ones or family members or workmates. 844-236-6010 is our number. And if you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. All right, I want to talk a little bit, I want to continue talking about vitamin E, but I want to talk about vitamin E as a member of a family. We kind of touched on this yesterday. It's a family of vitamins, like all the fatty vitamins are members of a family of vitamins. There's a family of retinoids. Those are the vitamin A's. There's a family of vitamin K's. There's a family of vitamin D's. And there is a very significant family of vitamin E's. More significant in the sense that the two major components of the vitamin E family, the tocopherols and tocotrienols, are a little bit different. And they have slightly different effects. The tocotrienols, that's the Cadillac of vitamin E. Not that the tocopherols aren't important. The tocotrienols they're rare. They're not found in a lot of foods, not like the tocopherols. The tocopherol part of vitamin E, those are found everywhere. The tocotrienols, they're not found everywhere, and they're not found in high amounts. That's why we didn't even know about them until the last maybe 20 or 30 years. The tocotrienols are pretty much limited to just the seeds, because they're so high powered. They're like the nuclear bomb of antioxidants for a plant. Remember, a seed makes all of these antioxidant compounds to protect the fats in the seed. Seeds are loaded with fats. The tocotrienols are like the heavy weaponry. The tocopherols are like bullets and guns. The tocotrienols are like the nuclear bombs for destroying oxidants. They're both important. They're both helpful. And what all this means is, by the way, if you're subsisting on the standard American diet, which is low in tocopherol-containing foods and tocotrienol-containing foods, you're very likely to be deficient. In fact, if you're not supplementing with vitamin E, you are probably deficient. You can assume you're deficient, at least in the amounts of vitamin E that you need for good health. So is it any wonder that we would be suffering from a lot of health challenges that are at least partially vitamin E driven by, at least partially by vitamin E deficiency? No. So tocopherols are the first ones that we discovered. It is the predominant form of vitamin E that's in our blood. But the deluxe form, the tocotrienols, those can do you get a lot of benefit from those tocotrienols, especially when it comes to protecting your blood, especially when it comes to anti-cholesterol effects. In fact, the tocotrienols can be thought of, at least, well, you can think of them as a natural statin drug, because they actually will work at the chemistry level where statin drugs work. Statin drugs work by poisoning the body's ability to make cholesterol. That's why they're poisons, and that's why, and literally, I'm not being figurative here, I'm not being metaphorical. They poison the liver cell, or really, they poison all cells, where at the cholesterol production level. That's how they keep the body from making cholesterol. But vitamin E does it in a natural way. Tocotrienols, that is, not so much the tocopherols. The tocotrienols actually work at that same cholesterol manufacturing level where the statin drugs work, but they do it in a non-toxic way. They actually trick the cell. Tocotrienols actually kind of look sort of like cholesterol, at least to the cell, and so the cell doesn't make any. It interprets the presence of tocotrienols as a sign that it doesn't need to make any more cholesterol. This is a natural anti-cholesterol strategy. Vitamin E, all vitamin E will protect cholesterol as well. Tocopherols, tocotrienols, they'll protect cholesterol that's there. This is the dirty little secret of the anti-cholesterol industry. They don't tell you so much. They always blame cholesterol. Oh, your cholesterol levels are low. Your cholesterol levels are high. Your LDL is where it should be. Your HDL, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, HDL and LDL. Doesn't matter unless you're a statistician, or unless you're selling drugs, or unless you're a boneheaded medical professional. It doesn't matter to the patient. It doesn't matter HDL. People die of heart attacks all the time with perfect HDLs, with great HDLs, with high HDLs. And they live long, long lives with high LDLs. So, LDL, by the way, is very important for the immune system. So you can't, these numbers, these statistics, these ways of dividing cholesterol, HDL and LDL, and their HDL isn't even cholesterol. It's a lipoprotein, high-density lipoprotein. It is not cholesterol. So HDL isn't even cholesterol. HDL is a carrier of cholesterol. It's a bubble that carries cholesterol. All right, we'll continue this discussion when we come back from our break, and we'll talk about how it all involves Alzheimer's disease. And Alzheimer's dementia, another tragic health challenge so many people are dealing with, is unnecessary. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this.
for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thank you for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. You can also head over to my blog, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. Check out our blog posts, which we post pretty much every week. There's also a newsletter you can sign up for at criticalhealthnews.com. And, of course, you can purchase any of the longevity products right off the website or by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. And if you're interested in purchasing any of our Truth Treatment products, Truth Skin Health products, including our Retinol 5% gel, no preservative, no fragrance, no oil, no silicone, no wax, no filler, no nothing, but retinol, vitamin C, and in my transdermal penetrating matrix, which allows the retinol and vitamin C to be delivered to the skin in a sustained release, timed release, long-term fashion throughout the day. You can check it out at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. Got lines open for you, so now's the time to call in, 844-236-6010. So the most well-known class of vitamin E is the tocopherols, the tocotrienols, or the deluxe form. It's very likely, if you're not listening to this program, that you haven't heard of tocotrienols. Most people have not, although that's changing because it's becoming more and more recognized that these things are super powerful. The tocotrienols are especially important for lowering cholesterol in a natural fashion. Not that cholesterol is necessarily a problem. It's the reason why cholesterol levels go up that is more of a problem than the cholesterol itself. The cholesterol elevation is a sign. It's not a problem. It's a sign of the problem. And this is really the quintessential example of why medicine is ridiculous. It treats the signs, not the problem. And it does it because it's based on science that's hundreds of years old, maybe even thousands of years old, certainly hundreds, where we treat the symptoms. That's how doctors have always done it. Why? Because they didn't know what was causing things until 100, 150 years ago. We didn't really understand the body. But modern medicine is a vestige. It's an anachronism. It's from a time gone by. It's based on an understanding of the body that is antiquated, that doesn't take into account how breakdowns occur. So we treat signs and symptoms like cholesterol, elevated cholesterol. Now, I should tell you, and I've said this before, there is a version of cholesterol called oxycholesterol, which is a rancid cholesterol. Remember, cholesterol is a fat, and fats go rancid. Now you're talking here about a problem. Oxycholesterol, oxidized, rancid cholesterol, that can be a problem. In addition to the fact that you're secreting a lot of cholesterol because your blood sugar's off mostly, that's the major reason. The oxycholesterol, the byproduct of cholesterol, that can be a problem. And this is why you want to be careful about cooking your eggs too much, or about cooking them at all, for that matter. Raw eggs are the way to go. Organ meats, overcooking organ meats, those are rich in cholesterol. Dairy, cooking with dairy, it's probably not a good idea to cook with dairy. Cooking with these things, cooking with fats, cooking with oils, that's where we run into a problem. That's why coconut oil and butter are so important, because they're stable to heat, relatively stable to heat. Coconut oil is, until you heat it, it's perfectly stable. It's a saturated fat, as is butter. Coconut oil can sit on your shelf for a long time. It's not going to go rancid. Now, eventually it will, over the course of years probably, but it takes a long time. So if you're really interested in lowering cholesterol, lower your sugar, lower your blood sugar. If you want nutrition, if you want to use nutrition to help lower your cholesterol, tocotrienols, and you'll have to go out of your way to find them. Now, talked about Alzheimer's disease a little bit here. Well, guess what? Vitamin E's fat-protecting effects, vitamin E's antioxidant effects, and when we say antioxidant, sometimes we're really glib about about using that phrase. We don't talk about what that really means. Antioxidant is like an antioxidant is like an electrical dampening system. It sucks up excess energy. It mops up excess energy. It's a sponge, an energy sponge, electrical energy sponge. That's what an antioxidant is, really. Now, the chemistry is absolutely fascinating, and it is a quantum effect. I'm not going to get into too much of that, but this is where medicine completely is lost. The antioxidant protective effect, energy dampening, sponge sucking up effect that vitamin E gives you is super important for the brain. In fact, next to the heart and the blood, the brain and the nervous system are arguably the most important place where vitamin E, both the tocopherols and the tocotrienols, where they really shine when it comes to health benefits. Both the tocopherols and tocotrienols. That means if you have Alzheimer's disease, think vitamin E. And there's so much baloney out there, crapola, nonsense about Alzheimer's disease. And we got a big, big problem. According to the World Health Organization, we're talking about tripling it by the year 2050. In 30 years, 35 years, we're going to be tripling Alzheimer's disease. That's craziness. And it's already, in this country, the 6th leading cause of death. And like all chronic degenerative diseases, it's unnecessary and, by the way, reversible. Yes. I mean, logic tells you it's reversible, but I just read, I could find this thing here. I wanted to read it to you guys. Even in the laboratory, they're showing that it's reversible. You don't need the laboratory. You don't need statistics, and you don't need numbers, and you don't need scientists, and you don't need doctors and articles and journals to tell you that this thing is reversible, because it's a degenerative disease, and all degenerative disease is reversible. I have a whole stack of these articles here that I've been collecting on Alzheimer's disease. Memory loss associated with Alzheimer's reversed. Yes, reversed. This is from UCLA, the Mary Easton Center for Alzheimer's Disease. There's something very interesting about Alzheimer's disease you never hear about, but it's a real major, major clue to what's happening. There's so much interest in Alzheimer's disease, too. I got an email today from some guy in New York, a doctor in New York, is one of these, they call it content marketing, where you get an email about diabetes or about arthritis or about autoimmune disease, and it's some lady talking on a video. I always listen to these things, so I want to hear what they're saying. So this guy cracks me up. His name is Dr. I don't even want to tell you what his name is. But anyway, he says, the real cause for Alzheimer's disease has now been revealed. This is the real cause, right? Now, I should tell you that the standard model, the conventional wisdom, is that there's this thing called amyloid plaques, which is basically like the plaque on your teeth. You know how you brush your teeth because plaque forms on top of your teeth? Well, the same stuff comes up in your brain. It's a cellular byproduct. Bacterial cells make it in your mouth, and our cells make it. It's called plaque. It's a type of protein, and it's sticky, and they notice that people who have Alzheimer's disease have these plaques. So the conventional wisdom is that it's plaques. Now, this guy, he's a genius. He says, oh no, we now know the real cause. It's not plaques at all. It's something called tau protein. Yes, it's not amyloid plaques, it's tau protein. More stupidity. He says, oh, well, we know that there's tau protein present in the brains of people who have Alzheimer's disease, so it's not the amyloid plaque, it's the tau protein. Of course, he has a supplement for getting rid of tau protein. That's the upshot. Well, it's just more nonsense. When cells are under stress, the proteins get messed up, and it doesn't matter if they're tau or they're amyloid or whatever. Alzheimer's disease is nothing more than arthritis of the brain. It's nothing more than fibrosis of the brain. It's endometriosis of the brain. It's the same thing that affects every system when we have a chronic long-term degenerative disease, which is good news. It's awesome news because it means that we can reverse this thing easily, and I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Thank you for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central, and 24/7 on our archive pages, brightsideben.com and benfuchsarchives.com. Both pages have search engines that you can search topics or programs if you want to review or if you miss a program. That's brightsideben.com and benfuchsarchives.com. Of course, if you want to purchase any of the longevity products, you can do that off brightsideben.com or pharmacistben.com or criticalhealthnews.com, or you can call the phone team at 866-735-2470. All right, so our number today on the phone, 844-236-6010. If you have a health challenge you want help with, if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you want to contribute to the conversation. Speaking of success stories, I got a call this morning from Richard in Delaware. And he started talking to me. We talked a little bit. I talked to Richard a few months ago. I gave him some ideas. And he called me this morning, and he just had the success story. And I told Richard, listen, I need you to come on the air with me, and I don't even want to hear it. I want you to tell everybody what you're telling me, because this is so important, you guys. I've been talking about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the longevity products now since 1997. And I can't tell you the hundreds, if not thousands of people who have improved their lives, turned their health challenges around simply by using the longevity supplements. I'm not saying that's all you need. There's other things. But just that alone, just the Beyond Tangy Tangerine can make a huge, huge difference. Anyway, Richard called me this morning and said, Richard, call me at 844-236-6010. I want to get you on the air. I want you to tell everybody what you told me. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. So you called me this morning, and I said, hold on, I don't want to hear anymore. I want you to tell everybody what you're telling me. So tell our listeners what you told me this morning. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell them the problem and then what happened with the tangy tangerine.
Sure, I'm a woman in Delaware. I had gone to my medical practitioner very rarely, but when I went there, I went because I was having a problem with urinary tract, and I wanted to find out my blood pressure was 100 over 90 something. Okay, I had some incidents after that, so I had to go to the hospital to get the blood pressure. But I came out.
Hey, Richard, you're cutting out, bro. You got to call me back. This is too important. You got to call me back, okay? Call me right back, all right?
Can't hear.
You're cutting out, brother, and this is way too important. So I'm going to drop you. I want you to call back. I'll get you right up. I'm sorry that happened, because Richard has an awesome story. Hopefully he'll call back. Paul in California, what's up? Oh my goodness, Paul. I'm going to put Paul back on hold because I don't know what the heck's going on with Paul. Juanita in California.
Paul's right here.
Oh, Paul, what's up? How you doing, Paul?
Hi. I've been diagnosed with a staghorn kidney stone, and I want to do surgery, and so I'm looking for any help you can give me.
Well, here's the deal. I don't know, kidney stone, I don't need to tell you about the misery of a kidney stone. It may be that you need surgery. Now, once the stone is there, a stone is a block in the very, very, very microscopically small tubes of the kidney. So it's and a staghorn, by the way, is when it's like a horn. So that ain't comfortable. So you may need.
Well, I'm in no pain from it. Is what's weird, you know.
Well, then that's good. Then that's very good. You're very You're very fortunate. Start drinking a ton of water. That's the first thing you want to do to try to dilute that kidney stone. But more importantly, why is the body accumulating calcium? That's what you want to know. Why are cells secreting calcium? Why is calcium floating around in the blood? Well, what that means is that cells are dying somewhere. Cells are majorly burdened somewhere. Nobody just has a kidney stone. It's a sign of cell death and cell dysfunction. So you got other problems. Mostly it involves toxicity, i.e. sugar. Sugar is a major toxin. What's that?
I eat way too much sugar.
Well, you're probably pre-diabetic or maybe even diabetic, so you want to start working on your sugar metabolism. If you can, I mean, I say that, but I realize how hard it is. So, and bread is sugar, and cereal is sugar, and potatoes are sugar, French fries are sugar, bagels are sugar. You know, all the things we love are sugar, not to mention, of course, desserts and fruit juices and, you know, the obvious forms.
Well, I drink a lot of soda and a lot of
all of that, dude. Paul, the kidney stones are part of the picture. You know, I can't tell you take this vitamin if you're going to have. I'm not beating you up, Paul. I just want you to see the connection. But you already see.
I understand.
Okay, good. So get on the Healthy Start Pack right away. Start handling your sugar business, and that means more protein. More protein will help you. For people who can't wean yourself off of sugar, more protein is invaluable. And that means whey protein especially, but also egg protein and fish protein, quality protein. You want to stay away from antibiotics and hormones if you're doing your meat. Quality protein. And also coconut oil can help get you off of sugar too. And then there's an amino acid called glutamine, Glutamine. You buy it by the pound. You buy it by the pound and do about a teaspoon a day, or even 2 teaspoons, just maybe a teaspoon a day. of the glutamine. That's wonderful for sugar cravings. And then a good nutritional supplement program, especially one that features the B vitamins and chromium and vanadium. That's your Sweeties and your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Make sure you drink lots and lots of water, and then the Healthy Start Pack to get your Mighty 90 essential nutrients. Now, I didn't tell you about the digestive component, but it's critical, because as long as your digestive system is broken down, it's going to be tougher for you to wean away from sugar. Once the digestive system starts to break down, diarrhea and constipation and bloating, I'm sure you have all of these issues because it's a package deal. You don't process energy correctly, so you feel tired a lot. And that's when we go for the sugar. So it's Paul, it's generic. It happens to us all. And that's the good news. Means if it happens to us all, that means there's constitutive, fundamental, basic mechanisms. It's not something weird from the outside. It's stuff that we're doing. So sugar metabolism, wean yourself off of sugar with more protein and coconut oil. Make sure you're using your Sweeties and your Beyond Tangy Tangerine as part of the Healthy Start Pack. If you want to throw some more things, want to do a couple more things, I would work on the digestive system, do a food diary, elimination diet, and the Biolumin Nightly Essence. And vitamin E can help you, too. We've been talking about vitamin E for sugar, 400 IU of vitamin E. Paul, I'm going to let you go. I got Richard back. I want him to tell his story. Right. Thanks for your call, my man. Okay, take care. Richard, you back? Richard?
Yeah, I
Okay, that's a little bit better. See how continue on. So you don't need we don't need all the details, but I just want to hear what happened, what the problem was, what you did, and what the results were.
I had a problem with high blood pressure. After I got the blood pressure under control, I was still weak, and I would be dizzy when I was walking, so I had to walk with a cane.
Okay,
I
that's when you called.
I told you about the problem. You told me to get some Tangy Tangerine. I got the Tangy Tangerine. 2 or 3 weeks after I started taking the Tangy Tangerine, that problem of dizziness went away, and I put the cane away. I was walking on two feet again, not on 3.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story, Richard. I see this all the time, but I wanted you to tell the listeners. And there's more that you need to do, of course, but the Tangy Tangerine is so powerful and so dense that just that alone can make a huge difference. Richard, I want you to send me an email, Ben, B-E-N, at ksco.com. K for King, Ben, B-E-N, at K for King, S for Sam, C for Cat, O for Oscar.com. And then put your address there, and I'm going to send you out a free Beyond Tangy Tangerine for sharing your story.
Could you repeat that first part of the email again?
Sure. My name is Ben, so Ben, B-E-N, Ben like Benjamin, B-E-N, Ben at ksco.com. Or shoot me a text if you have. Why don't you shoot me a text, Richard? Don't worry, Richard. Shoot me a text, okay?
Okay, send a text on what number?
Send me a text, the number you called this morning.
Okay, very good.
Okay, God bless you, my friend. Thank you for sharing your story. Appreciate it. Happy New Year. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. 844-236-6010 is our number. We shall return right after this. Don't go away. Okay, we are back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. Let's go to Oklahoma and welcome Colin to the bright side. Good morning, Colin.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going great. How you doing out there? Where are you in Oklahoma, by the way?
Right now I'm in between Tulsa and Oklahoma City, headed to Oklahoma City with my load.
Oh, okay. You're a truck driver. Do you don't live in Oklahoma, or do you?
I do. I live in Oklahoma City. I drive to and from Tulsa.
Okay. I love Tulsa. Oklahoma City's nice too, but I love Tulsa. Except it's so darn hot. A little bit.
I love going through there. The downtown Tulsa area is a little raised up. Kind of epic looking.
Best bookstore. There's a really cool bookstore there called Peace of Mind Bookstore. If you ever get a chance to, that's a plug for the Peace of Mind Bookstore in Tulsa. I'm a fan, except for the weather. Not a fan of the weather. So what's cooking? How can we help you today?
Okay. A friend of mine's wife, since she has had her baby, has been having crazy psoriasis on her hands and on her feet.
Okay. Psoriasis is. Go ahead.
No, she says she's tried almost everything.
No. Yeah. I hate when people say that. You can't try everything. I know what they mean, though. It's frustrating. You try this, you try that, you try the other thing, because nobody's addressing the cause. Psoriasis is Alzheimer's disease of the skin. Or let me say it a different way. Alzheimer's disease is psoriasis of the skin, or psoriasis of the brain. Did you listen to the beginning of the program, Colin?
I did.
Okay. So I was talking about how Alzheimer's disease is fibroids and plaques. This is one of the ways cells respond to stress, is they'll secrete fibers. And these fibers will appear to the naked eye as what they call plaques, which is like this raised, bumpy stuff. Basically, it's just fibers and skin cells and residual, the residual secretions of broken down dead cells. In psoriasis, it's caused by inflammation, as in anywhere else, and that means there's something that's messing up the immune system, the defense system. There's two major components here. Number one is food, and number two is nutritional deficiencies. This is the cause of psoriasis. This is how you deal with psoriasis at the causal level. You look for food problems, and you restore nutrients, especially fatty nutrients. It's as simple as that, my friend. Okay, so how old is the child?
6 months.
Is she breastfed?
I believe so.
Okay, so mom,
she's kind of a crunchy mom, so I believe
so if she's breastfed, then that narrows things down, because the only thing that's getting into the kid's system is from the mom. The mom's got a problem. So the mom has to do a food diary, eliminate problem foods. If she's gluten intolerant, she's got to avoid that. Somehow immune factors are coming into the baby through the mom's milk. So that has to be addressed.
No, it's not happening to the baby, it's happening to the mom.
Okay, well then the mom's getting into her system somehow through the foods. So food, same deal. Food diary, same deal. It's not any different. Food diary, eliminate problem foods. Focus on gut health. Get on the nightly essence. Colin, I'm guaranteeing you results here if you do this correctly, or your friend results. Guaranteeing. She could take all her hundreds of things she's done, or dozens, or however many it was, flush them down the toilet. They're irrelevant. Because if you're not getting instant results, and I'm talking 48 hours or less, you're not doing it correctly. So food diary, eliminate problem foods. If she wants to really, really, really get fast results, have her fast. Just don't eat for a few days. She'll get immediate results. The next thing is nutrients, especially fatty nutrients, vitamin D and A in particular, and also essential fatty acids. 20,000 IU a day of vitamin A. Have her getting out in the sun if she can, sun lamp if she can, and if she can't do either of that, then vitamin D, which is not as good as the sun, but it's at least something. Vitamin D3, maybe 5,000 IU a day. Then essential fatty acids, the ultimate EFAs, 9 of them a day. If she has gas or bloating or any discomfort after she takes these, that's a sign that she's not absorbing, which is very likely to be occurring. In addition to the nightly essence, you also want her on the ultimate enzymes with all of her meals. It wouldn't hurt her to do things that help stimulate bile secretion before her meals, so that if she does something like arugula or dandelion greens or parsley or something called Swedish bitters at the beginning of her meal, and then does her ultimate EFAs and her vitamin A and her vitamin D, that will help. It will help improve the absorption of all of those nutrients. Then, of course, she wants to stay on the Mighty 90. I'd also be using 50 milligrams, 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate. Very, very helpful. 50 milligrams. Look for zinc picolinate. It's the best form of zinc. Now, there's many more things to do, but what we want to do is trend in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? You want to be pointing in the right direction, trending. Once she starts this program, she will notice results in 48 hours. I'm not saying she'll be completely cured, but she'll notice results. That's how you know you're trending in the right direction. There's many, many more things to do. You might also want to try topical vitamin A and D. Even my retinol healing, retinol 5% cream might help her, applying that maybe once or twice a week on the plaques.
Vitamin A and D or A and E?
A and D is in David. E wouldn't hurt her either, by the way. The E is not going to hurt, but it's not as significant as the D. I didn't give you everything. I just got you started on the program. Colin, I got to motivate. Now everybody's calling me now that I have 3 minutes left. Okay. Thank you for your call. Drive safely, buddy, and Happy New Year, my man. All right, Juanita in California, welcome to the bright side. What's up?
I'm here.
Hi, Juanita.
Hi.
Hey.
Can you hear me okay?
I can, but I hear other people okay as well.
Okay, I just came out of the classroom.
Are you a teacher or student?
Yes, I am a teacher. Yeah.
You're a teacher. Where do you teach?
Yeah, I teach math and English.
Oh, that's awesome.
7th and 8th grade.
Very nice. Where?
Okay,
oh, dyslexic? Did you say dyslexic kids?
No, they're special ed children.
Special ed children.
7th and 8th graders. Uh-huh.
Okay, well, talk to me quick, because I got a bunch of calls.
Yeah. I recently met a 19-year-old who's been diagnosed with Graves' disease since the age of 14.
Okay.
And I thought I heard you say autoimmune diseases are treated through the glands.
No, treated through the digestive system. Graves' disease is an attack upon the thyroid. It's you know, I could give you the mechanism, but it doesn't really matter for reversing it. You got to calm the body down. It's the most important thing. Graves' disease, for the listeners, hyperactive thyroid. It's the opposite of hypothyroidism, and it is utterly miserable, especially when it's severe. Yeah. Utterly. It's worse than hypothyroidism.
Depressed, all of that, yeah.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine being, for the listeners, just revved up all the time? Like, well, you're sweating, and your blood pressure goes up, and you're dizzy, and you can't digest your food, and your hair is all oily. It's just awful. So here, you got to calm the body down. It's a sign of hyperactivity following an attack. So calming the body down by fasting is the first thing I would do, or at least caloric restriction. Okay, fasting and caloric restriction, that will calm the body down. Making sure that there's plenty, abundant Mighty 90 essential nutrients is also important, at least the Healthy Start Pack. There's more, but just the Healthy Start Pack to start. And then the digestive system. This is the major source of attack on the body. The toxins get into the blood. I'm sure you've heard me say this before. I'm not going to say it again. But food diarrhea, eliminate problem foods. You probably notice, your student probably notices that foods will make it worse. Specific foods will make it worse. For Graves' disease patients, they will notice that when they eat a specific food, their symptoms get worse. That alone is all you need to see, folks.
That's what you need to see.
That's all you need to notice. And you know what the doctors will do? They will radiate the thyroid. They'll shoot friggin' poison, radiation at the thyroid. Or they'll take it out.
That's what they want to do.
Yes. Yeah. This is the stupidity. This is why I do this program. Juanita, I got to motivate. Food diary, eliminate problem foods, Healthy Start Pack. If you want to do a few more things, the BioLumin Nightly Essence, and also the Fucoid Z. And then don't forget the importance of caloric restriction and fasting. Very, very helpful. Deep breathing will help too. Slow deep breathing. Thank you, Juanita. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Melissa in San Francisco. Got about a minute, sweetheart. What's going on? How can we help you?
Oh, thank you so much for taking my call. I have a 16-year-old son, basically, with cystic nodular acne, and on a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 10+.
Oh, that's awful. That's terrible. Listen, I only have a minute. Let me tell you.
Dermatologists who have both recommended the Accutane.
Accutane, of course. Listen, I've been dealing with this for 30 years. I've been dealing with acne and acne patients. The worse it is, the easier it is to reverse. That's the great news. The worse your acne is, the quicker it is to reverse, and the easier it is to reverse. Right away, you got to get him on a food diary and eliminate problem foods. If you can get the kid to fast, that will be helpful. He is screaming digestive problems. And Melissa, I'm not psychic, but I'm telling you, guaranteeing you with 100% certitude, this is a kid who's had digestive problems for a long time. Okay?
Okay.
Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes.
Was he breastfed?
Yes, I am.
Was he breastfed?
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
Did he have problems as a kid? Did he have any like when he was breastfeeding as a baby?
No, not at all, not at all. He is a twin, but I don't think that has anything full. He was 7 pounds.
Okay, so good. Don't worry. I needed to know that to see if you were involved. You were involved.
Yeah.
But so it's a food issue. He will know, and he might not want to talk about this, so you'll have to just have him do it on his own. When he's constipated, usually it's constipation, could be diarrhea, but usually constipation, bloated, gassy. Dairy's a big problem. Grains are a big problem. Gluten is a big problem. And then as far as nutrients go, and I only have a few more seconds here, Melissa. Zinc picolinate, 50 milligrams a day. Vitamin A, 20,000 international units a day. Make sure he's getting his sunshine, and throw in something called NAC, 400 milligrams a day, and selenium, 400 micrograms a day. I'm flat out of time, Melissa. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, folks. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.